formal promotion or anything like that, so I'll know in the future, I'll know in the future.
We just have to get our house in order.
Let me tell you this,
I'm pretty sure in the right place.
I had that friend about it, I just asked him about, do you know a good tire changer? I was on the email, I guess he said something, and asked a question, I said, you know, we're looking for a good tire changer. So he sends me the name of a person and a phone number. But I think something we talked about, and I think, and we all need to do this, the board as a whole, and convince our teachers, our classified, that we have their best interests at heart. And, you know, like you say, if you tell them something, we tell them something, we need to deliver, win them over, and we have the best interest. I know you do, as far as the kids, you got their best interests at heart, and I think we on the board, I know we do, and that's what we're striving for, so.
I think we're on the right track.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on the right track.
Yeah.
I think we're definitely on the right track. I mean, even, and I can be very critical. And it's,
There's so many positive things going on.
yeah, there are positive things. And it's hard, well, you know, it's hard for me at the paper to, you know, promote the positive things in this end. If somebody else promotes them, it's all right. I think I did have an op-ed piece that say that I believe great days lie in for the, you know, for the school system.
Right.
But of course, I'm editor of the local paper as well as a board member. So I don't want it to sound like that I am,
Painting a rosy picture.
well, you know, sounding my own trumpet.
Right.
The thing that I put in there, you know, to support my, you know, position, is that who would have thought a year and a half ago that we'd get a new school?
And the dual credit, which I asked for, and you're working really hard on that, and I appreciate that. And like you said, one of the things that's holding us back on us getting teachers, which
Yeah, the teachers.
we're looking at that. And I like your positivity, I like your enthusiasm, and
You know, we just say you're very highly energetic.
Well, you guys keep it.
and you got, and I want to see you pass it on to our teachers. And
I will, if, on that, with the communication piece and being able to get closer to faculty and staff, I think this year I've spent more time, the time that I've had, I've spent it directly with kids. And hopefully the parents, you know, getting to know the community. I really haven't had an opportunity, a lot of opportunity to get with teachers, even in a casual setting or even in the professional setting either. So, you know, and as far as the approachability, I understand that. And his problem, and from folks who have never even, who wouldn't call me or anything, it's not that they've tried and I've turned them down or rejected them or said anything. It's from a distance, you know, for the crisis that this board has gone through.
Right.
I mean, I've had to make decisions that, you know, we can't form a committee to determine the color of the carpet. We just need to make it happen. So that's what I've used a lot of directive authority decision-making over the last year because it had to be made without bringing people and maybe including the board at times and the community of educators. But, you know, I'm going to get closer to these folks.
and
you
make
can do
sure
a lot of that through recognition.
Well, the whole thing about with, you know.
and classified or so.
Well,
They feel like sometimes that they're not really cared about because they're classified.
But I think the recognitions you do.
Yeah.
You know, the things that you don't know, just like the Tammy Gerald here, the other.
Classified
Well,
and certified.
Yeah, you know, certified, I think it's great. You know, classified, one thing that I saw that I noticed, I think my second meeting, is that I saw, and it's nothing against certified, I think we have very, very good certified employees, you know, teachers and things like it, but with, you know, classified employees here, they were, a lot of them here at one of our first meetings, you know, that we had as a, you know, new board. And there was a position to be filled. Well, there was, you know, a position that I believe was created. And, you know, classified workers here said, we don't have the money to do that. I mean, they didn't come and ask for more money, but the position that was wanting to be filled, they said, we don't need it. You know, we need new buses. We need this, that, and the other. And I think, you know, our classified employees have a real heart think they have a passion. I think they, they care for kids. And, as you said, bus driver, for bus driver, that person has to be on time. I mean, it's, two things I would add to that. Everybody else can be absent, except, well, of course, bus driver, you can't get there. One thing I'm gonna miss if I'm in the school is a cook. Yeah, if they don't cook the meal, I mean, the teachers and all that stuff is good, but if I don't get my lunch or my snack, I'm gonna miss that. So these, these people are very, very important, and I know that you believe that they're important. And,
We just got, all of us gotta let them know that they're important.
yeah,
I
they're
mean,
very,
I know some, I don't care what you do, there's gonna be some.
yeah, there's gonna be some that are gonna be,
Negative.
but there's, overall, as a whole group,
Yeah.
they're very, very good people. I think this district is blessed to have,
Yeah, I do too.
excellent classified workers, as well as certified workers.
Yeah,
Have any
one
final
thing-
comments or anything?
One thing I thought I'd like to do, we as a board, which I don't know if it's had, is like on those jobs, or we need we need title, we need to know people, so if they say, what's he doing in his, those, we need job duties and job descriptions, so I can say, here's what, because when I was doing, I wanted to be accountable for what I did. I didn't want people saying, because I know how classified, especially, he's getting this and he doesn't do, and, I just think we need to work on that as a board, come up with, which I know you've worked on as far as.
We are, it's about ground zero. That was one of the deficiencies that was pointed out by the state audit. The one was at Atlanta, was that the job descriptions and job duties were not given to every employee. So this coming year, there's going to be, when we look at the personnel piece, we've got to go through, and the personnel folders right now are not in any condition for inspection, or they're just not in any condition of order, making sure that you have certifications, if you're talking about certified, transfer letters, medical records not being in the file, nothing medical goes in the personnel file. That's a piece that we'll be working on, but also job descriptions and contracts, and that's why the contracts for the classified this year, and we're working on them today in the office to make sure that when the contract is signed for, the employees also sign for job descriptions as well. And starting at ground zero, the classifications, this is why you just can't create titles and duties. You can only go by munis codes of classifications. Those classification numbers, those 4-digit numbers, are tied to a particular job description, and it gives you kind of a template where you could start. And then you take that, and then you edit it or rewrite it or add to it, depending on the circumstances of the environment that you're working in. So that's what we're doing moving forward on that piece.
And I know it's a gradual process, and sometimes my patience is not what it should be, but I think, I think you value my opinion, and I want to be more supportive, and,
I think you value all of our opinions.
so.
And I appreciate this board's support. And yeah, we shouldn't agree on all things. It comes to mind, I know I'm on record on the video, but I'm still, in the military, when I did open ranks, when you did open ranks inspection, if you come by a sad sack and, that's always disheveled and always got lint and their ribbons are out of place and they're not ironed, you can't start to pick out what's wrong with this picture. It's all wrong. But when you come across someone who's spit polished, and I'm not identifying with that, I'm just saying that it's easy to pick out the little piece of lint and get a demerit on it, but so this board has done some very hard work together. And I
Putting
know
that Nichols, we went,
It
putting that
was
on the
tough.
table was tough.
it was tough.
And I may not get 2 votes the next time, but.
No, we will. No, I think people were very, very supportive of that.
What
I
was
do,
that?
I think they knew what it was for. They
I mean,
wanted good school
It's
system.
specific.
Well, here's the thing about it, we're getting a new high school that, people don't understand. They say, okay, well, we're getting it halfway paid for because the state's giving us, $14 million. So I said, no, we're getting it 3/4 of the way paid for it. Well, how do you figure that? I said, because the state matches the nickel.
Right.
Every dollar that you raise. So we put up 25%, the state gives us 75%. to build our school. You couldn't.
Yeah.
No other school district would have turned that offer down. And I think the taxpayers, you know, the majority of the taxpayers understand it's a nickel on $100, it's a whole lot of money.
Right. I agree.
It's like people in my district, when I ran for board, they said, you're not gonna be a yes man, are you? Well, I said, if the yes is right and it's beneficial to our kids, yeah, I will be. But, you know, I'm not gonna say yes on everything, I'm not, you know that. I'm not.
Well, and I like the fact that we can disagree
Yeah.
and still be, you know, agreeable. I mean, it's
still
not, that's not a, I mean, I respect everybody on the board, and I respect you. And, it's not it has nothing to do with it. I think the board overall has done a very, very, very good job. And I, you know, particularly want to appreciate, you know, with Craig and Kathleen, me becoming a board member. And in the past, when I wasn't a board member and I was editor, being very, very critical, you know what I mean? And y'all could have looked at me and, you know, okay, big boy, now you're in here, you're gonna see what it's like. But they didn't. And they treated me as a colleague, and I, you know, yeah, and I certainly appreciate it. And after I got to be board member, I really understood the complexities of the job and how everything's not always in black and white, and how you can make mistakes and not know it.
Right. Yeah.
There's a whole lot to know. And I can't understand why we should not, because we get $75 a meeting, you know, we should not.
But as far as the transparency, I think it's,
I think it's
everything's
very
been laid out on the table, you've done
Absolutely.
that, and,
It's very good.
I think it's very transparent.
But we have one goal, I think it's all, and
Mhm.
that's a quality education for our children. We want to see them move forward.
And we want to see them be successful.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of things have worked out. I believe that they are God. I mean, well, I know that's on record. But I couldn't believe that they would be attainable unless there was some kind of divine providence in it. And the thing of getting a new school, I didn't think it was snowball's chance in Hades of getting a new school. And it worked out.
Cacophony helps in that too. I'm just kidding.
You got other comments, or?
But I think, like you said, the quality, like Kathleen said, and, but we gotta strive, and I think, to give our kids the opportunity
Just create the environment
to
for
be
success.
to be competitive with
Yes, sir.
anybody in the state of Kentucky.
What I would say is that I would like to, if you don't mind, I'm going to make 2 copies of this. I'm going to give you back your copy where you can keep it, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
And then 1 copy will go into my records, and then I'll keep 1 copy for me. I would also like to consolidate any comments and also the overall valuation so that I can calculate the overall valuation. I can bring that calculation back to you, because typically that's what, you know, in the superintendent world, that's, you know, where you want to visible, what's the overall classification, where is it?
Well, our comments here will serve as a summative evaluation, right? It doesn't have to be written out. I mean, we have, the recorded,
This is the summative evaluation.
Okay, that's a summative.
Right.
Okay.
Whatever's written on this is the record.
Before you leave, though, I expect a lot of outstanding.
Yes, yes, thank you.
Now, Roger's putting pressure on.
He's confident that I can get better.
Oh,
That's
we
one of
believe
my, as a coach,
That is
I hardly ever give one of my players, I expect more out of it. Yeah, you may be, like with a little girl I had.
Well,
at
good and
lunch,
excellent.
you may be all state, but I expect you to be better.
Yeah.
And I would expect nothing less out of a good coach.
That's awesome, yeah. Good work.
Good work, very, very good work.
But I look forward to the next few years, and I
Me
look
too.
forward to our kids.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, I look forward to seeing that school go up. I really do. I mean, I am.
And I want to commend you on your composure. I don't know, the other night, it was, you did, I don't know how you held your composure with,
I almost didn't, but.
I mean, people, you know, it's just,
Yeah, it's very well.
I
Very
commend
well
you.
done.
That's what Roger told me, he said, you got better. I mean, I will better right out.
I'm working on mine, and
And Roger does good.
I'm doing better on it.
we are.
It's
I
all
think a
good.
lot of times with pressure and stuff, it just kind of builds up, and then sometimes it overflows, and when it shouldn't, and directed at people as you shouldn't, so.
We'll get a motion to adjourn.
Yes. I'll make that motion to adjourn.
Have a motion, need a second?
I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any
We
opposed?
do, motion, no. What we do, we get Craig's taser.